Thanks for staying tuned. Now, by-elections are often described as small in size but big in implication. In Edo State, this one came with its own share of tension, strategy, and aftershocks. When you look at the turnout figures, you might tend to agree with the critics that it was poor turnout. And there are also narratives around credibility and party dominance, and also there are lessons and signals to reflect on for both Edo politics and the wider Niger Delta political space. So, what really happened, and what are the takeaways in the Edo by-elections? We have joining us virtually the special advisor in legal matters to Edo State, the Governor Chief Andrew Enwanta. You're welcome on the program. Thank you for joining us, Barrister.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Niger Delta Today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers.
Good afternoon. Welcome. We're looking at the just concluded by-election in Edo State, although it was also held in some other states, but specifically in Niger Delta State, which is Edo. And we want to get your opinion, your assessment of the conduct of the election. How would you assess the conduct of the by-election in Edo State, especially from the legal perspective?
Yeah, thank you. The by-election that took place last Saturday, 16th of August, goes down in history as one of the most peaceful, freest, fairest, and you find that it was, for me, democracy in action. You know, when the election was on, all the candidates in that election commended the process. The collation process was done peacefully, according to the IBEC guidelines on conduct of such elections. And by the time the election results were released, the entire state was agog, much as it was a senatorial district in Edo that was involved, where the governor comes from, because he was the one who vacated that seat the moment he became governor. And the governor went word by word campaigning for the APC candidates, Honorable Joseph Ikpeya, who is from Eastern Southeast, and a grassroots politician. So it was a clean sweep in Edo. And of course, the result you saw, APC won with 105,000 votes. That's 105,120, a very good margin. And of course, the PDP candidates scored just 15,000. This was a region or a zone PDP controlled to before the governor defeated the PDP in the 2023 elections. So I can tell you for free that in Edo, PDP has decimated. You look at the Ovia Federal Constituency election. In the last election, PDP, of course, won those two local governments, but they were defeated in this House of Reps by-election across board. It was a clean sweep PDP had. We had APC, or rather, APC had a clean sweep. APC scored 77,000 votes to defeat the PDP candidate, Johnny Akmeteyi, who scored 3,000 votes. And if you ask me, who is the candidate? Who was the candidate of the APC in that election? Omasebe Igbumedion, who was a former member of the House of Reps, who was the deputy governor's opponent in the previous election, but haven't joined APC from PDP. It was a combination of forces.
Okay.
In the Ovia Federal Constituency, there's nothing like PDP there.
Chief Enwanta, as much as you tag this election, I hope you can hear me. As much as you tag the by-election to be free and fair, the people from People's Democratic Party may seem to disagree with you. Is this because the All Progressives Congress had the victory in this election? Or what are the bases for your judgment?
No, I didn't hear that. What did you say?
Yes, I was talking about your statement saying that this was a very free election and credible election, and I'm understanding that the People's Democratic Party and some other political parties in Edo State may not seem to agree with you in that statement. Would this be because of the victory won by the All Progressives Congress, or there are bases for judgment for the election?
But I think I saw the statement the factional PDP publicity secretary, Chris Nekari, issued, who complained about it. Of course, the government, even after voting, admitted that there were network issues with the beavers, right? But it did not by any stretch of the imagination affect the electoral process because people came out to vote and they were, of course, accredited before they voted. So I think it is with the INEC to see how they can work closely with the National Communications Commission for us to have deeper internet penetration.
All right.
And of course, the only thing that happened delayed the process of the election. But if you ask me, the election was free, fair, and credible, and APC won. And for me, it's a reaffirmation of the victory of the governor in the last governorship election we had in Edo, which was just less than a year ago. And for me, it was a referendum on the performance of the governor. In Edo Central Senatorial District, where the senatorial election took place, the governor has done very well there. In our federal constituency, he has done very well there. And the people who came out to vote have affirmed that they are comfortable with the APC government in Edo State. And it is not just in Edo. Of the 16 constituencies elections took place in Nigeria, APC won in 12. In Anambra, where Ada holds sway, they won 2 constituencies there. In Kano, APC won 1. Of course, NNPP, which is the government of the day at the state level, they won 1. Then in Oyo, where PDP, of course, has a governor, they won 1. But in other places, APC had a clean sweep. In Adamawa, where you have a PDP governor, APC won there. So for us, it's a confirmation that in 2027, APC is the party to beat. Because PDP, as it stands, is highly factionalized and presently on life support. Or is it ADC? I was even expecting a question on ADC. They performed abysmally. And they claim to be the main coalition party. Oh, well. And as the president once said, condition of confusion. And it reflected in their performance in the last by-election, the by-election of last Saturday.
Well, Chief Enwanta, Edo is known to have over 2 million voters, but then we're seeing a little less than 200,000 voters who featured in the by-election in Edo State. What do you think this means when we talk about the interests of the people of Edo in the just concluded by-election, as it does not really reflect the voting strength of the Edo people?
Yeah, thank you. It tells me one thing, that we have a system that I would describe as work in progress. As we speak, INEC have started their continuous voters registration, and a mass of our people are still unregistered as far as the electoral process is concerned. Before the last general election and now, apart from off-cycles elections like the one that took place in Edo, a lot of people have turned 18, right? And as such, there's need for massive voters mobilization. And as a state government, we are going out to tell our people who are unregistered for them to come out to register and to create the environment necessary for them to register. Because democracy is about the people. But in spite of the fact that, we don't have a vast majority of our people voting, but for those who voted in the by-election, supported the governor's developmental strides, supported the plans he has across the state, and just to say that Edo people have embraced APC as a party that will bring development, that will bring peace and security to the people. And that's exactly what the people are getting.
All right, Chief Enwanta.
Because in every democracy, contract between the people and those in government.
Chief Enwanta, can you hear me?
The government have performed well, and the election results reflects the sentiments of our people.
All right, Chief Enwanta. Well, Governor Mondo Okwebo spoke right after that declaration of victory in the 2 places where the elections took place, and he categorically said that no mandate was stolen, and that this was a reaffirmation that his victory was indeed backed by the Edo people. Judging by the statistics of persons who participated in that by-election, do you think that the governor has a point?
Absolutely, because you find that a place like East and West, where we scored almost 40,000 votes, when you compare that with the 2,000 the PDP got, it's a reflection of what actually transpired last year. Because we won in East and West, We won in Eastern Central, but of course, where Andrew Enwanta comes from, we may not have won because he was a candidate then. But in this last election, Andrew defeated, or rather, Andrew won his unit with a margin of 2. That's a PDP candidate, defeating, or rather, having a margin of 2. That's the PDP won with a margin of 2. Meaning that if we had 3 more persons come to vote from the APC end, Andrew Enwanta would have lost his unit. But the PDP chairman lost his unit with over 40 votes. That's the factional PDP chairman. That was a direct rejection of PDP in his own unit. Our father and leader of the ADC fund, what was his name? Tommy Kimi, a former minister of external affairs who speaks very good Queen's English. He lost his unit woefully and lost his ward, lost his local government. So you find that those who claim they are members of the coalition from PDP, they performed very poorly in the election. That was why the ADC candidates did not win any ward in that election.
Chief Enwanta, there's so much to celebrate for the APC. I hope you can. There's so much to celebrate. If you can hear me, now. There's so much to celebrate for the APC. But the question is, should there be a legal battle in the nearest future? Would the All Progressives Congress have the backing or have what it takes to defend this victory?
Hopefully, in this by-election. So for us, if it were a referendum, which it is, it's a confirmation that although people support the APC and they are willing to work with the APC government of Model, and it now places a burden on the governor to do more for the people. It shows that if you work for the people, when the election comes, they'll reward you with their votes. And that is what we saw last Saturday in Edo State. And the governor has promised the people of Nigeria that come 2027, Edo will produce over 2 million votes for Mr. President. And we are sure of achieving it.
And considering where you are now, when we talk about registration of voters, do you think that mark you would be able to achieve that mark of 2 million votes if at the by-elections we're having just barely 200,000 who participated? And then when we talk about the commitment of the APC towards ensuring that it supports this victory that it has recorded in the by-elections, let's say there were to be maybe a lawsuit from the opposing parties, do you think the APC is well grounded to defend this victory at the by-elections?
Yeah, thank you. To start with, it was a pure victory because the people gave that mandate both in Edo Central Senatorial District and at the level of our federal constituency. I never saw PDP come out to campaign because the party is in 2 factions. But we came all out telling the people the things we have done.
Thank you very much, Chief Andrew Enwanta, for coming on Niger Delta today.
Yes, of course, we're almost out of time. Jennifer, also thank you very much for making this one a success. And we appreciate our viewers. We'll catch you again tomorrow for another fresh edition of Niger Delta Today. My name is Xavier Robert, and do have a terrific Tuesday.
And I am Jennifer Pius. Thanks for being a part.